Hey, I'm the great Southern Train Killer, Insane Lane, and I'm drinking at Moe's.
All right, everybody, Big Mo here. Wanted to take a little break to welcome the sponsor, Reaper Apparel. They want to encourage everybody to break the mold, live your best life, live your best self, just break out of that comfort zone. Use code DRINKIN when you go place your order to get 10% off. Some great quality stuff, great quality people. Glad to be a part of the team. Let's fucking go. All right, everybody, welcome to Drinking at Moe's. Host Big Mo here. YouTube, be sure to like, subscribe, comment, all that good shit, because the pain in the ass algorithm on YouTube, I don't know. But we're on pretty much anywhere you can find your podcast. Today, I have with me Insane Lane. How you doing?
Good, brother. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm still on, despite the game I went to not particularly going the way I wanted. My dad took me to my first ever game for my team, Green Bay, up at Lambeau this last weekend.
Yeah.
First ever time, and holy shit. I did the tour around the stadium beforehand, and finally got to find a place that actually sold a Broken Skull American Lager.
That's what's up.
Here in Omaha, they don't really sell it anywhere. So I'm like, found a spot that had it. I'm like, okay, let's go there.
There you
go. But a thing I like to start off with each guest is what got you started as a fan? Because everybody getting into wrestling starts off as a fan somewhere. Yeah. And then what got you started, making the jump into the business?
Well, I've been a fan of professional wrestling as long as I can remember. I mean, it goes all the way back to kindergarten, 1984. I mean, it was right when Hulkamania kicked off, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?" These big, huge, larger-than-life characters, big muscle dudes slamming people, and let me tell you something, brother. Just that's a damn 7-foot tall guy, and it was just all these characters, and then later on, my mom remarried my stepdad, and he was a wrestling fan, and all I knew really was WWF, but he was like, he said, you watch the NWA. So I started learning about Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, the Horsemen, and the freaking Road Warriors. Same thing, like I said. So that was, like I said, I always liked the big giant wrestlers with the larger than life appearance. You get face paint even better. I didn't even care if you could wrestle. If you just beat the shit out of people, I didn't care if you do a wrist lock back then. I was like, he's big and strong, and he looks badass, yay! And man, they just followed up through, and then I kind of lulled off a little bit. I guess around high school, right at the beginning, I just kind of got tired of trying, playing sports and trying to chase girls and stuff, tried different things, but I went right back to it not too long later, and I caught right there at the NWO and ECW, and ECW was awesome. I caught that like one night on Atlanta Public Access, 2 a.m. in the morning. I was flipping channels. I think probably between channel 99, the squiggly porn channel, and I was flipping like, oh, ECW, what's this, and I've always been a fan, and I've always wanted to do it. I was like, man, that would just be so cool to go out there and just be this person and, go and just whoop everybody's ass, and people love you for it. I always thought that was cool. And, so, I mean, I got into it. I got out of the service, and I was in college, and I was working at a video store, and the local wrestler came in and put up some flyers, and he said, and I was like, there's wrestling around here? He's like, yeah. And I was like, and me and my friend, we were like, hey, we're like big, huge fans. We want to be wrestlers ourselves. I mean, we do backyard matches, on a on a mattress or whatever, but we never consider it. We would never ever tell anybody, yeah, I'm a wrestler, you know, anything. We were just guys who we get a pay-per-view that Sunday, and then we get drunk and we get like 4 or 5 mattresses and we get shit faced and slam each other. That's basically what we did, you know. But then it was like the opportunity arose, like get trained, and basically we kind of traded off. Really, was we just basically gave him free rentals and we forgave all his late fees for the rest, you know. Yeah, so that's how I got in, man. But man, but when I got in training, man, they beat the shit out of me, man. They were old school. They wouldn't let me in the dressing room. They wouldn't even let us in the ring to begin with. It was they were. I mean, you had to earn the ring to go in the back, all that shit.
Oh yeah, no, I can imagine. I know. I did a little pro wrestling boot camp coincidentally at the hotel that I was put in the night before I left for boot camp. It was in this convention center that was attached to it, and I'm telling you, I was walking funny for about a week.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned getting out of the service. What, I guess I forgot, which branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Navy guy here, but
hey.
But it was. Thank you for yours. Yeah, no. Speaking of that same hotel, they held a few wrestling shows there, and the first time I went, which ended up being the first time I went to that hotel shortly after I got back, the area with the convention center, which doubled as the check-in area at the time.
Yeah.
They, I guess, switched the check-in area, but I'm entering the door to go in, and I'm like, all of a sudden, I had a flashback to me leaving with my backpack to boot camp. I'm like, oh fuck.
Not this place again. No.
Yeah, no. I'm like, I'm gonna go find my friends now.
I don't remember this place anymore.
They've actually torn it down since, so I don't got to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
But short, like, I guess towards the end of, seems so weird saying last year already, you started mentioning that 2023 was gonna be, the end of the year. You're hanging it up. What having a retirement tour, I guess you could say. What kind of brought up that decision to be like, this is gonna be it?
Well, honestly, I mean, yeah, I'm actually looking at this year being it for me because, for one, I mean, last year the injury bug hit me pretty hard. I in March I fractured my back, just messed that up, and I missed like 3 months of action of that, and a lot of opportunities fell out of my fingers between that time. Man, personal life, the things at home weren't going well. Me and the missus, we, had our differences, and we split up. So I had to deal with that, and then just like I said, more injuries. Oh, I had emergency hernia surgery. I had that, and God, I mean, it was just rib, and I mean, just everything just started compounding. Like just the simplest moves I would do, I would wake up the next morning like, God, I was like, what, why am I hurt? That never happened before. And then I remember, oh yeah, Lane, you're 43. And you can't, your body, even though you've whipped your ass back into shape, and you do the yoga, and you do the back bridges for 5 minutes at a time, and all that good shit, it doesn't matter, man, because you're 43, and time doesn't care. Time does not care, and it waits for no one. And so that's kind of one of the reasons why I've kind of decided, one of the reasons I probably need to start slowing it down. And also, longevity. I mean, I feel like I told myself when I came back that, all right, I'm gonna give myself till I'm 45, to get some tread going, because I wasn't expected to get hit up overnight or anything like that. But I feel like this being year 3 of the return, I feel like, if nothing really totally materializes for me to go another year, then man, it's time for me to hang it up and just at least remember people. Man, he came back and he fucking ripped ass for the time he was here, and he got out before he started falling off again. And that's the last thing I want to do. I don't want to fall off and be like, oh, there he is again. He's made a slob again. I want people to remember. I want people to remember me being the best of who I will be, being at my best.
No, definitely, and that's the way you'd hope that anybody would be that way, because it's the worst thing seeing somebody that at one point you just thought the absolute world of them, and then they just don't know when to hang it up, and you just see them, just like you said, fall off, and you're just like, oh God, like they do something crazy and you're like, oh God, why?
I remember when I started in it, there was a local indie show in Alabama, and there would be some old guys there, and some of them been doing it for too long, and you never heard of them, and they were just sitting there just hoping this, oh God, somebody recognized me. I was like, God, that's sad. I said, I do not want to end up like that. I want to get out before I could. And I mean, and I feel like, this opportunity has given me the chance to come back and give people who remember me from back in the day, because there was a period, I hadn't had my best work out there. But those people who remember me when I first started, they can see me go out the way I came in. I came in pretty good, so I like to come out on a good note.
Yeah, and another thing, like you mentioned, back in the day, you had, and you still are, pretty well regarded when it comes to deathmatch wrestling in particular. That right there in itself, when you hope that people can, like you and some of the others that are kind of high up there right now, can kind of be, I guess, well-rounded and be able to do not just deathmatch, because seems like the people that just concentrate on deathmatch wrestling when bringing up longevity don't really have that longevity, because just concentrating on deathmatch wrestling, that's a whole different animal in itself when it just comes to professional wrestling.
Yeah, it is, because first of all, I think people who, if you're going to get into deathmatch wrestling, I think it's very important, for one, to be a professional, learn how to be a traditional professional wrestler first. Because that's what I did. I didn't just jump into this deathmatch stuff. I didn't. I got into it after I've been in the business a few years, and there's a lot of people, who just get in it for death matches, and some of them just don't understand the psychology, and they think it's. And some of these guys, when I see them work these death matches, you could tell they're lacking in skill of basic fundamentals, because it just looks like they're just rehearsing a ballet recital to me.
Yeah,
they're not. There's no. It doesn't look organic to me, and that just doesn't go for just deathmatch wrestling. That's professional wrestling itself.
Totally.
It doesn't look organic to me, and I love when it just like it comes grown from the earth, if you know what I mean. Like, okay, or the crowd, be like, no, hell, whoop his ass, and they feed on that, or the heel feeds on the booze, and he just does it worse. It's not. They just don't go through them. Instead, everybody just get going through the motions of their moves and doing this, not even caring what. And they sometimes go so fast the fans can't even digest it. And it looks great, but the fans go, oh, what? Well, he did this move. I can't remember what it was, but it was great.
Yeah,
that's really how it's turned into now.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
I'm turning that old vet, man. I'm that old vet.
No, I totally agree. There's sometimes there's a time and a place for the flashy stuff.
Absolutely.
And being able to fit it into the story of a match, just like you can tell when it comes to deathmatch wrestling, how you can fit it into a story and get it, tell the story you're wanting to tell throughout the match, and not just be one of those, like, and there's plenty of those out there that is just like, okay, we're gonna have a death match and just go out and hit people with shit.
Yeah, I'm glad you hit on that. I'm not a big fan of just doing death matches just to do death matches. I know there's a lot of shows out here, very popular ones that, I mean, all they do is put on dream match, like big fight right here, which is fine. But I like to do death matches with substance. I like to tell why am I maiming this guy with glass? What's the story? Why am I wanting to put bodily harm on my opponent in such a way that other wrestlers, from damn George Hackenschmidt to Ric Flair to John Cena to Roman Reigns, ain't doing? Why? Where's the why? You just throw these two big name guys together, so and so versus so and so in a death match. Okay, that's a dream fight, but what's in it? Okay, there's these two guys I wanted to see fight, but yeah, that's great. But what's the build up to it? Why should this guy fight? Why? Because a couple of fans on the internet have been jerking off wanting to see this match, want to see it? I mean, really? Because that's apparently what it's become now, and it's stupid.
Nope, I'm with you. There's definitely the promotions out there today that do it right, and then there's others that just go out and hit people with shit. Like, you bring up CZW's getting back into death matches. It seemed like they kind of went away from it for a little bit.
Yeah.
But bringing back, I recently had on the man that won the last tournament of death, the Bev. I had him on.
Oh yeah.
Had Brad Cash on, a guy and
that's my dude. That's my dude. Most known, Brad Cash, Tennessee.
Oh trash. Yeah, loved having him on. And then you bring the different streaming services that bring like Fight TV, IWTV, that have places like GCW, that GCW has the regular wrestling, but then they also have the death match mixed in there, and it's like a little bit of something for everybody, really, because if you want the hard-hitting death match, they got it, but if you want the fast-paced scramble matches, they got that too. And then you have Mid-Death Pro that got brought in by the Carver. That is a different unique thing they got going there, mostly centered around just death matches, but they definitely got a unique thing going. And I'm telling you, the Carver, he's been through Omaha quite a bit, and I've been like right by the entrance, and there's something about that dude when he's like walking right towards you when you're sitting there at the entrance, that you're like, oh shit.
I did I can't remember shows, IWA show, not last year, the year 2021. That was me, Rebecca Payne, and the Carver, and we had a three-way match. I beat him. So yeah, that's all right. Mid-Death Pro. Hey Carver. Hey bro, if you want to get your revenge, you better come holler at your boy. Come knock from Insane Lane. I dare you.
I've talked to a few people in Mid-Death Pro, and actually the guy that I don't know for real or just storyline, but Phil Stamper, who I guess is their daily operations guy. I'll tag them in when I post this. When I release this, I'll tag them in there. We get it done. But no, totally. But the thing I was wanting to talk about is they're like back more towards when you got started to now. It seems like as far as deathmatch, there's a little bit more places to choose from that actually mix it in there, when back in the day, you'd really, as far as I've been able to find, going back, you really had to travel or really look. And now it's exploded. It's just about everywhere.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I'm just telling you, when I first started, I was doing death matches out of Alabama, and only people that were doing it at the time was myself and the Freak Show. And then Spider came into a little later after he had been injured. But me and Freak Show were waving the flag, and no one down south was doing it. And everybody where we came from, shit all over. It's like, oh, your guys are putting a black eye on the business. So we had to drive north every time to Indianapolis, to Michigan, to Philly, or to Wisconsin, wherever. We had to go up. We had to go north because nobody would book us down south. Yeah, Chicago. I mean, everywhere, dude. We were Ohio. It didn't matter. It just nobody down south would book us. Nobody was doing death matches until I left. Basically, I guess up until like 6 years ago, man, death matches just kind of boomed, especially when COVID, the COVID outbreak. Because from what I understand, death matches saved indie wrestling's ass.
Pretty much, you look back at it, some of the death match shows back during those early days of the pandemic seemed to be the only ones really doing anything, because and I mean, in the defense of some of the promotions out there, it was a time where you're really trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? And
yes, there really was, and I was kind of part of that. I mean, I go way back, man. I mean, when it wasn't what it is now. It is evolved, and that's what you want it to do, and that's what I wanted to do. I want the guys, I want the Cogers and the Eric Ryans and the Bevs and the Murdochs and Colognes, all of them to be the Tremonts. I mean, name them. All of them, Carver, everybody. I want them all to be evolve and do better with the guys that never came before them, like me and Ian Rotten and Madman Pondo and Wife Beater, Mondo, Zandig. I mean, I'm naming people off because they deserve the dap. And some of them are still here doing it. Myself, Tank, Pondo, and the fucking Necro Butcher, man. I mean, we're still here ripping ass, man. We're the relics of the past. Still showing these kids, today, hey, we're the guys that built y'all, and we're still here. So I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I love it. I love I'm still here, and I love I'm being able to get back and work with these younger guys, because they need to learn something.
No, you're right, and you bring up. I've actually had some of the names you brought up on, like Tank and Alex Cologne, which, oh my God, when he told me he'd do my podcast, I was like, holy shit, I didn't think I was actually going to get you. And now I actually, in my collection that I'm getting ready to put together for my man cave, I actually have signed ring worn kick pads of his downstairs.
That's weird. I'm sorry. I was actually going to tell you, when I was at CZW years ago, when they were filming The Wrestler, they had prop posters up in the dressing room, and they had a poster up of a CZW poster of me, a picture of me, and it said Insane Lane versus Alex Cologne, battle to the death, Rampart Arena. I'm like, what? I was like, what? Where? It was like, oh, that's a prop for The Wrestler. I was like, oh, and I didn't really know who Alex Cologne was. He was real young and getting in, and I mean, I had seen him around, a real nice guy, and but I was like, cool. I said, can I take this home with me? And they're like, yeah. I was like, come to find out, it's in the scene where Mickey Rourke throws up and has a heart attack. You can see it in the background. And I got it framed, and now all of a sudden, man, Alex Cologne's, man, like king shit now. So I think it's really, really cool. It's really cool. It's one of my favorite pieces.
Cool. Oh, I can understand why. A pretty cool story behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I actually have unless something happens, I have a few other names that a couple you brought up, Tremont and Madman Pondo later this month.
That's cool.
And Mickey Knuckles. That's another one. I've heard so much about her, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm looking for, getting, I don't like to use the word representation. Like, I'm like, oh, I got to find people from this group or this group. But I'm just trying to find everybody that'll come on. And when I got, when I talked to Mickey Knuckles, I'm like, oh, dude, gotta have you.
Oh, Mickey's great, man. Man, we go way back, man, way back. We're like, we grew up like little kids. We were like little kids in the business starting, man. I got a funny Mickey story. We were at JCW and we were doing a tour, and it was when Ian and I were doing Bloody Brothers, and me and Ian and Mickey were in a hotel room, and I was laying down, and all of a sudden Mickey was looking out the window, and she goes, "Oh my God." I said, "What?" She said, "Come look at this." And we look out the window, and apparently Sabu and his old lady were having a fracas or something, and she went, next door to knock on the door, get some help. Person opens the door is Raven, ain't nothing, butt naked, but nothing but a towel going, like, "What's up?" And she's doing this. All of a sudden, you see Sabu punch his head out, the door, and then he goes and picks her up over his shoulder, looks at Raven like that, and goes, "Hey," and goes right back in the room, and me and Mickey looking at him going, and then Raven just goes, slam the door. Mickey and I was like, "Did we just see that? Did we just see that?" She's like, "Yeah." We're like, "Oh my God." Well, okay.
Oh, damn, that's funny.
And it's some wild shit, man. Good times, man. I love Mickey. She's always been a sweetheart to me. God, man, and I really enjoyed our match at Tournament of Death. God, she's always rocked people, man. And I'm telling you, she hits us hard as some dudes, man. harder. Oh God, she rocked my shit.
So you know what? You've confirmed everything I've ever heard about her. There's been another lady I had on the show that in Southern California, she's known a lot as the equal opportunity ass kicker. Mickey Knuckles definitely fits that, in my opinion. And there's people that just like deathmatch, that are fans of deathmatch wrestling, and has the detractors, just like intergender matches. There's people that are liking them, people that not so much. But in my opinion, if you want equality, if you want everybody having the same chances, and you believe that this person could go with anybody, throw them in there. If you believe that they can do it.
Yes, if you believe, as it says, that's the word. If you believe that she can go out there and be the queen of the shit kickers and whoop everybody's ass and make it believable, then by all means, put them out there with the dudes. By all means, but if you can't, if you're trying to package them as something, it's not going to come off believable. It's going to look like they're being protected or something, and it's going to make their opponents look really bad.
Yeah, no, you definitely have to be careful with it. Mm-hmm. But when you got people like Mickey Knuckles, there's the wrestler Ruby Reyes out of Southern California, that they definitely can go. And by all means, if you got somebody like either one of them that can, fucking do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But to kind of round out the show, I got two categories. First one's a bit of a name game. I name off some people. I figured I'm gonna do a little bit of a deathmatch theme here.
Yeah.
Some of the people we kind of brought up a little bit, but you give like a short little story about them. First one that comes to your head.
Okay.
First one, guy, you have your dude, Brad Cash.
How much time you got? Let's see.
Oh, I got a while.
Oh, let's see here. Story about Brad Cash. Oh gee. Okay. Well, here's one. We're on the way back from TOD, and I'm over here trying to. We're driving home, and I got this big over John M arm from the show, and I'm trying to change the wound on it, or trying to change the dressing on it, and I didn't get it right or something, and I was like, oh crap! I said, dude, we're gonna pull over somewhere. I said, I'm kind of bleeding a little bit. I'm going to change it right. He said, okay. Well, so we stop at a Wawa, and he goes, I go into the bathroom, and the next thing I know, I take to go fix it. I'm taking the bandage. I'm gonna fix all. Oh. I go, oh shit. So I get a whole bunch of paper towels and whatever I can. And there's blood all over the floor. It looks like someone got fucked up really bad. I'm going in there, just damn. Home Alone said, Brian, we gotta get out of here. He's like, all right. And he's all chill. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And he's just sitting there, and I'm like, I'm sitting in the passenger seat trying to patch myself up, and Brad's just sitting there, just eating food, just all chill. And I'm like, man, dude ate a damn weed gummy and stuff. I'm over here bleeding to death out in the middle of freaking nowhere in Virginia at like 3 a.m. Brad's high eating shrimp or something. I don't know what the hell. Wings. He was eating wings. Eating wings. High eating wings. I'm bleeding to death. And I was like, well, he's like, you want to go? I'm like, yeah. So it finally stopped bleeding, and then we switched off. But dude, that was a hell of a ride. Oh, we had went through DC. Our GPS said entering Washington District of Columbia. We went boo, and then 2 seconds later, now entering Maryland. We went yeah. It was just getting the hell out of there, or getting there and back. It was just. That's probably the first. That's the first one that comes to mind. That because that's the last time I saw him. So
now that's a good one. Next one, Tank.
Oh, let's see. I'm trying to think. Okay. All right. We're coming back. Oh. We're coming back from a show from Ian's, and we're getting a hotel room, and we're all taking showers, and I wasn't paying attention. I was smoking a blunt, me and Freak Show and whoever, and Tank got done taking a shower, man, and Tank just walks by, just bare cheeks farts dead in the back of my head. Like right here. Like I felt the heat, man. I went, ah! I'm glad you did. I'm like, oh, God damn it. And Tank will fart on you. And then last time me, Tank, and Brad were at Ian's, we got a hotel room, and man, me, him, and Brad destroyed a whole like 2 boxes of Crystal, not Crystal, White Castles. We destroyed them, and yeah, I know there were some crippled alligators later on that night in the morning.
Yeah, we unfortunately don't really have White Castle here, but
we don't have them here. I had to go up north. I got to go up north to get them.
I had to go down to St. Louis when I was invited to Warrior Wrestling, and I'm like, I know they got White Castle somewhere around here. So I went and I found one not too far from my hotel, and I talked a little bit about the Broken Skull American Lager. I found a place that had the IPA down there, and I drank all but like 2 of them and ate the whole damn bag. I had a big ass bag of that. Next one, the Carver. I mean, we kind of already had a little bit of a story about him.
Tattoo Carver. Well, what is there to say about the Carver, man? Ain't really a lot to say about him besides that one match I really had with him. We during the there was one match we wanted to have before that it was a Trainwreck Wrestling was doing this thing called Deathmatch Armageddon. It was some crazy clusterfuck Royal Rumble death match that I can't even begin to explain to you. Okay, it was very on paper. The idea sounded good, but the application of it was just it was bad. Well, we had this thing. We were going to do this spot where we were going to have a spot where we're going to tangle and whatever, and I got eliminated, and he's coming up going, oh, and I'm like, I got eliminated, and so I just went, oh. I mean, we had this thing worked out. We were going to do this cool thing, and it was going to be awesome, but it didn't happen. But hopefully I'll get another opportunity.
No, that would be fun. I know, like I mentioned, he comes through Omaha quite a bit for Magnum Wrestling, which they're on, understandably, a bit of a hiatus after the passing of their. Yeah, the guy that ran Magnum, I met him back. So I was still stationed in San Diego, and he was doing one of his runs down there. And when I heard where he was from, I'm like, oh man, I got to go talk to him. And then he told me about Magnum, and then hell, I met most of the friends that I have to this day. And yeah, that one hit the area kind of hard, but he was supposed to be in a no-rope barbed wire match against a really good friend of mine. And yeah, he ended up at Mid-Death Pro almost getting impaled by like a light tube or some shit.
Yeah.
Literally the day before. Next, last but not least, Nick effing Gage.
I have a great story about Nick Gage. When we went at Carnage Cup years ago, I think it was the first one they did outdoors at Donna's Barn in Elkmont, where I ran a show there with my brother-in-law called Full Throttle Wrestling. We had a whole bunch. I lived 10 minutes away from the venue that was there, and they had been in a hotel about 5 minutes away from my house. So I was like, why don't you come over, hang out, we'll hang out and do whatever. So I had Danny Havoc there, Nick Gage was there, several of the guys were there. But Nick Gage was like, he was checking out my DVDs. He goes, "You got the Ric Flair 4 Horsemen DVD?" I was like, "I actually do, Nick." He's like, "Oh shit, I've been wanting to see that. Can we watch that shit?" I was like, Yes, we can, Nick." So I sat there and got it out. And we sat there and I ordered pizza, and we sat there and smoked weed and watched Ric Flair and the 4 Horsemen until they all got one of their hotel rooms and stuff. Man, Nick's one of my favorite people. I have a lot of respect for him. To see him he was able to turn a negative into a positive.
Oh.
And and he's always had nice things to say to me when we've met. And despite his the things he's done in the past, he's made like I said once again, he's made a negative out of a positive, and I'll always be very happy for him.
No, I definitely can agree with you on that statement about him. He definitely turned what was a really shitty situation, and then look at him now. I mean, doing amazing things. All the respect in the world for him. I'll admit, he's kind of on my bucket list of names I want to get on the show. Who knows? But maybe someday. Next off, I used to call it speed round, but it never went that damn quick, so I just changed random question round. I have some questions. You give me whatever answer you feel best, first thing off the top of your head.
All right.
First one is really one of the only ones that I always have on there. Craziest in-match moment.
Craziest in-match moment. Oh, Jesus, man. God, you making me go back. Man, I gotta go with. I'll go with the most recent thing, man. That exploding barbed wire bat I did turn him to death. That's like one of the greatest things that's ever happened to me. I loved it. That was a bucket list thing because I used to watch the FMW stuff in Armada with exploding barbed wire and shit. So when they said anybody want to use exploding barbed wire bat, I was like, me and Brad went, we do, and then I was like, I told Brad to hit me with it. He's like, all right. So it was great. I fucking love it. I want to do more of them.
That would be sweet. Yeah, I remember seeing a lot of those Japanese death matches with the exploding barbed wire, some crazy stuff. On Facebook, I've seen you post a lot of different sports ones in general. A lot of baseball. What would you say favorite sports you have outside of pro wrestling?
I mean, I'm a sports fan. I like them. I love to play basketball. I'm a big 80s, 90s NBA fanatic. I think that was the best era of all time. Screw this one now. They're all pussies.
Hard to argue.
But I love it. I like football. I'm a big college football fan. We're an Alabama Crimson Tide fan. And, I support my local Atlanta sports teams and stuff. And, I'm glad Georgia won the national championship. They were built by Bama. Their coach coached at Alabama. He learned to coach from Nick Saban. So it was built by Bama. That's all I got to say. But anyway, but yeah, you know what? I've gotten into watching the game called soccer. I used to think soccer was so damn boring. No, listen, I thought it was so boring. My dad's gotten into watching it and stuff. He was like, no, if you really watch it, it's actually really good. I watched the World Cup final, and I was like, wow. I said, this is some good. If all the games were like this, I said, I could watch it. I couldn't watch it all the time. But yeah, I would probably say like football, baseball, and basketball. Those are my three favorites. But I know I can talk about all kinds. I like hockey too. So I mean, it's just whatever. If it's something, like I said, I grew up watching Sports Center before I went to school every morning in the 90s. So
No, I got you. I more football and baseball for me. I lifelong Padres fan, being from Nebraska and being Padres, but
you ain't got a baseball team over there, so y'all gotta find something.
I mean, closest we got is Kansas City, but But yeah, ever since Tony Gwynn and Trevor Hoffman, I've been a fan of them. And I mean, obviously my team, they didn't do so hot this last Sunday, but I mean, for me, being a lifelong fan of them and finally getting to go to a regular season home game up there, I'm still on a high from it, damn it.
Oh, absolutely. I would be too. That's Lambeau Field, man. It's Lambeau Field.
No, totally. Next one, with end of the year with a retirement from the ring coming up, what are you most looking forward to being able to do more of that you maybe with the life of independent wrestling you might not have had so much time for?
I probably just I honestly I think the only thing that's going to change is my schedule is just going to be a little more open for me to do more things with my family. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, look, I'm not John Wayne Murdoch working 150 shows a year. I mean, that guy's a fucking machine. And, I'm not these guys working. I mean, my first year back, when I came back, I worked 30 shows. I did 30 shows. And that wore me the hell. Some of the shows I did maybe 2 or 3 death matches in. And then the next year, I only did like 20, maybe 9, I think maybe 19. So I mean, my schedule is not that heavy for me to be like, oh God, I'm gonna miss. The only thing I'm gonna miss wrestling and I'm gonna have all this free time. It's not gonna be like that. I think really the only thing I'm gonna miss is just the camaraderie and I have made so many friends over the years in wrestling. Not just not just wrestling and not my wrestling associates, but fans, people that that work the concessions, or took the tickets, or ran the building, ring crew people, just fans, just
Totally.
people, it's just I've been very blessed, and so that will probably be the thing that'll probably sting the most, is not being able to see them anymore. And like I said, and I know I said this is going to be it, but if God willing, or whatever you believe in, if there was some kind of thing that was to keep me around, to make me do another year, I would consider it. But like I said, if the rate I'm going, if it's starting to slow down and the quality isn't there, then it's time for me to go and let the new generation take a step, because all I'm doing is taking up space, and I'm turning into that old guy going, somebody remember me, somebody remember me. I'm not turning into that guy. I'm getting the fuck out. Getting the fuck out.
That would be the way to do it. Last but not least, best advice for anybody wanting to get into wrestling.
Best advice? My advice to anybody that is getting into wrestling is to, one, understand that there is no money in it. You have to continue at it. It's like getting in. It's like a band. Any band that doesn't become an overnight sensation. So basically what I'm getting to is, graduate fucking high school, get a GED, get something to fall back on. Yeah. I have a degree in aerospace technology. I'm a fucking rocket scientist. So, but I choose to do this. Thanks to the GI Bill, I got that degree. But anyway, I just said, I've got a degree, and I was like, if this doesn't work out, then I'll go do something else, And I've been very fortunate to beyond fortunate. I don't even know why I'm still here, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, have an education besides putting all your eggs in the basket. Don't put all your eggs in the basket. Get an education, have something to fall back on. Follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. If you want to be a circus clown, go be a circus clown. But make sure you're smart enough to go be able to get something, to do something else that don't work. That's all I want to say to anybody.
Totally.
Because not everybody goes straight to the pros. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody goes LeBron. Those are generational talents, and then they're the same in wrestling too.
Oh yeah, no, that is definitely true. Well, that is about all I have. But where can people get their eyes on you for this run that you're going to have, if they don't already have them there?
Well, I currently I am doing a thing with Ultraviolet Underground. It's I guess a spin on a thing of CZW, bringing back the old Ultraviolet Underground concept that they brought out years ago. I'm going to be heavily involved in that. There will be some announcements on that coming soon at UVUwrestling.com or UV Wrestling on Twitter. I'm doing a show actually on the 28th, Brad Cash's birthday bash. It's me, it's the most unknowns, myself, and Brad Cash against his good friend Chase Stevens and Insane Lane.
I saw that.
Yeah. I'm fighting I'm always fighting with myself, man. This is I should go up to him and go, hello, me. I'm the real me. Then I'll start singing Sweat Bullets to him.
like the dual Undertaker thing.
Do what?
Like the dual Undertaker thing they did.
Yeah, I guess so, man. Yeah, Brad, there's a Bizarro World Insane Lane that's been floating around for a while, and yeah, he's actually an actor. He's been in movies. He's been in Spider-Man and The Walking Dead. Yeah, Yeah, he's more he's more successful than Insane Lane, but I'm the more violent one. And he's gonna find out. No, but that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm gonna be doing in January, and I've got a couple of things lined up. Hopefully down the pike, but I can't really announce anything right now. But that is, but those are but yeah, see me. I'm heavily involved in UVU, and ultraviolet underground, and if so, yeah, just hit them up. Buy membership from them. Use the code UVU Insane. Shameless plug. Yeah, gotta get that in there. So yeah, so that's where y'all can see me at pretty much this year. For sure there, and at Brad's birthday in a couple of weeks.
All righty. Well, like I said, that is about all I have. Thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight, and best of luck there with Ultraviolet Underground.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.